Hello everyone. The Maldraxxus Afterlives short has been dropped. I was just having dinner as they released it, so I'm a little bit late. Apologies for that. Yeah, so this is my first time viewing. I'm very excited. I mentioned this on stream as well. My hopes are that Draka is going to mention something about Thrall and Gul'dan, because for those that are unaware, her death was pretty awful. She died as they conveyed the information about Gul'dan. Very first horde, Gul'dan had manipulated, infiltrated from within, and they knew. The Frostwolf clan, Gul'dan and Draka, they knew. So they went to their bestest buddy, Orgrim Doomhammer. They informed him of what had happened. But unknowns to Orgrim, the escort that he gave them were actually Gul'dan's warriors. They were actually, you know, followers of Gul'dan. So Gul'dan and Draka, they died by those assassins' hands. And their baby Thrall, their baby Go'el, was left in the wild. So I'm hoping that she remembers that final moment. And maybe even drops his real name. Like mentioned that Thrall is supposed to be called Go'el. But we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what this short is all about. Let's enjoy.
In life, I was Draka of the Frostwolf clan. A warrior who gave everything to protect what mattered most. But I was not done fighting.
Thank you for giving me exactly what I wanted right at the start, Bliss. Cool.
Maldraxxus, where the armies of the five houses once stood side by side to protect the realm of death. It was here I served the House of Eyes. A strange fit for a warrior's soul.
Again.
Their ways were not mine.
Ooh, faster. Again.
Eventually, this life after life began to feel right.
The House of Plagues lies in ruins. 1/5 of Maldraxxus wiped out.
It's hard to believe they could be so careless.
Perhaps they weren't. No matter what happens now, Maldraxxus must stay true to its purpose. For if we fail in our duty, the Shadowlands will fall. I believe the House of the Chosen still stands with us, and I trust you to deliver this to Margrave Crexus. Now, go. And Draka, be watchful.
My brothers, I am on urgent business.
Oh no.
My lord! Hurry! There could be survivors!
Huh.
So, these are the traitors you spoke of.
I would not let such Urgura prevent me from delivering my lord's final message.
Ordeals such as this either break the sword or strengthen it. I offer the key to saving Maldraxxus.
I am sorry, Margrave. He gave me no key.
Gorgeous.
An unyielding warrior with the skills of a master spy. A key to many things. Come, our enemy will strike openly soon. We must prepare.
I am Draka, once of the Frost Wolf clan, now Baroness of the House of the Chosen, and most of all, a protector of Maldraxxus.
Very cool. Okay, not as... Right, let me lower this. Not as grandstanding, not as lore-dropping as perhaps the Ufer one was, but still a very, very nice short. As I mentioned at the start, they do show her moment of demise, which is very nice. There's Baby Vrouw. He doesn't exactly look like the Warcraft movie, with his blue eyes, trying to defend her child. And all in all, again, it's an introduction into the zone. It explains a whole lot before you go into the questing experience, before you go into the campaign. So there isn't a whole lot I can say about this short without going into spoilers. It pretty much self-explanatory. She was part of the House of Ice. The House of Ice was also destroyed together with the House of Plagues, as the House of Plagues fell first. And they make it look like the House of Plagues destroyed itself. Draka goes to the new Margrave, and that is where she signs up, and that is where you will find her in the Shadowlands. Now, for those curious about the spoilers, I'm wondering, is it worth it going into the full details? I'm wondering, is there anything I could say that would add to this short that would actually, you know, add anything to your experience here? I don't think so. I'm gonna be honest. Like this Margrave right here, maybe I can explain a little bit more about how Maldraxxus works. So we got the map. Where did the map image go? Right, and so you can see there are 5 houses, right? You got the House of the Ice, you got the House of the Plagues, you got the House of the Chosen, you got the... Maybe this is the House of the Liches? Rituals, either way. Again, you got the House of the Eyes, the House of the Rituals, the House of Plagues, the House of the Chosen, and the House of Constructs. Let's go with that. And these 5 houses are all ruled by the Primus. Now, the Primus is missing. For some reason. Wink, wink, hint, hint, the Primus is missing. And there's some story going on that will be explained as we dive further into the Shadowlands. Even up this point in the beta, it's not been fully explained. House of Plagues falls, and they make it look like the House of Plagues does it to themselves. The House of Ice falls, and there is another rather interesting lore character that you might know from Azeroth that's also connected to the House of Ice. Very cool, by the way, to see a warrior skills imbued with the roguelike skills. It's very awesome to see. And the other one from Azeroth that is... let's just say you've seen her before. And she is not entirely down with immediately giving up on her house. She does not immediately join the House of the Chosen. She wants vengeance for what happened to the Margrave. And the Margrave is the leader. So Draka goes over to the House of the Chosen. This is also the party that we're going to be partying with. So we sign up with the House of the Chosen. And we deal with the House of Constructs. And we deal with the House of Rituals. I think that is all that I can say without going into massive spoilers. And then the story unfolds. Of course, there are the parallels you can draw between the assassins sent after her after informing Orgrim Doomhammer, as well as the assassins that go after her right now. There's a sense of honor amongst Maldraxxus. There's a sense of it's our duty to protect the Shadowlands. And without the Primus there, with outside influences, meddling with events, they no longer perform the duty as they're supposed to, which is nice. And Draka is drawn in a really beautiful way. Damn. There is, of course, the question, and this is something that we've also been wondering on the beta. Where is Durotan? And we don't know. We don't know where hubby Durotan went. We don't know if he went to the same house, or if he went to the same Shadowlands, or if he's partying in a different one. All in all, I would say not as massively mind-blowing as the first one was, but that's okay. It's still beautiful. It's still awesome. It gives us a really nice shot of the moment that Draka dies. So far, this has only really been portrayed in the comics. So to see it now in full HD is nice to see. Do they even show Durotan here? I don't think they do. It's purely on Draka, right? Yeah, it's purely on Draka. And I think that's about all I have to say about this Afterlife short, I'm afraid. Okay, so there is something rather interesting to talk about that I completely spaced out on. Shoutouts to Lorcus G on Twitter, by the way. for pointing this out. I did not notice this. If we look at the movie, right, we see Draka go through her training montage where she becomes this warrior spy. Now we end up on this shot, which is very similar, as Lorcus lets us know, very similar to the Illidan Warbringer shot. As we can tell, they're pretty similar. So the question they originally came with were like, what is the connection that I'm missing? To which I'm like, well, you know, this could just be to save some animation costs. They just reuse the same shot. Add a little tree to the left, you know, just reuse the same shot. But then if we look further,
Ways were not.
if we look further, she follows the Margrave in a bushy kind of area. Now, demons, for those unaware, demons are not a common sight in the Shadowlands. They can be imported by the brokers. But demons, I don't know if they're supposed to be demons, though. See, that's the problem, because from the back here, you could say demon, but you could also say that they look a lot like the undead that they have in Maldraxxus. So she trains some more, and then she picks up a map.
Eventually, this life after life began.
She stealths out of there.
Right life.
One of the guards also disappeared.
Eventually,
2 of the guards disappeared. I am all the kinds confused, Blizzard. 2 of the guards disappeared. So people are now wondering, like, what is going on here? Why is she on this mission to steal information? What is this information all about? And it's almost seems like she's infiltrating one of the other houses in... it almost seems like she's infiltrating one of the other houses in Maldraxxus. But this shot... very much reminiscent of the demons, right?
their ways
And then if we compare them from the back, like they got the horn helmet going on. If we compare them from the back, they very much look like the same models as they showed. So then, of course, the question becomes, how did Draka interact with the demons and Draka interact, you're right. How did she interact with the demons and what's going on here? Now, like I mentioned, demons are not supposed to go to the Shadowlands. When they die, they go back to the Twisted Nether. And then if they die in the Twisted Nether, who knows what happens to them? Maybe they become one with the Twisted Nether. Maybe then they go to the Shadowlands. We do not know. And then the question becomes, did they leave the Shadowlands to infiltrate some Legion planet in order to get some plans or information? Why would they do this? What could the connection be there? It might have to do with the origin between the Lich King, Kil'jaeden, and the Burning Legion. Perhaps that's kind of information she was looking for. Or maybe she was infiltrating one of the other houses in Maldraxxus to gather information on what is going on. As the House of Plagues falls, as stuff is going on, the Primus is missing. Maybe that is the information she's looking for. But at this point in time... Lorcus, I'm as confused as you are, buddy. But thank you very much for pointing it out, though. It's very interesting. What do you think, everybody? Maybe you all know what this is going on, but this is very much room for speculation, like what the heck is going on here? Is Draka actually infiltrating some Legion world, or is this a training mission, or is it in Maldraxxus, or who knows? I'll leave it up to you to fill it in. Right, wanted to add that before we actually show the video. So again, bye-bye!